So we'll start. We'll talk about we'll talk about model 4 for the portable fire extinguisher.
Mm.
Okay. So if you go to the UAE fire code, you can see there are fire extinguisher classification. You can see that for the fire extinguisher suitable for Class A fire, Class B fire, Class C fire, Class D fire, and Class K fire. Okay. And also I told you that there is a light hazard, ordinary hazard, and the extra hazard.
Mm-mm.
Okay,
Okay.
so if you talk about Class K, Class A fire, basically we are removing the heat. You know, if you see the fire triangle, you have a heat, oxygen, and fuel. Okay, so
Mm.
what is the principle behind the fire extinguisher for the Class A fire? You are just removing the heat so that you are extinguishing the fire.
Yes. Mm.
Okay, and for
Mm.
Class B, since it is a liquid or combustible liquid, petroleum greases, what you are doing, you are just removing the oxygen by, say, for
Oxygen.
example, you there is a container, fuel container. Okay, you cannot
Mm-mm.
remove you cannot remove the heat from the uh, say for example from the oil. Okay, if the
Mm-mm.
oil consists of fire, maybe there is a heat, it will be there in the oil. Okay, it takes time. So what we are doing, we are removing the oxygen by
Oxygen.
spreading the extinguishing material on top of that oil layer. Okay, so
Mm-mm. Yeah.
if you spread the extinguishing material on the top of the oil layer, then you there is no chance of oxygen to go into the oil. So what will happen, you are just breaking the oxygen chain. So then the fire extinguishing will be stopped. Okay. Similarly, for the Class C fire, we are removing heat, and for the Class D fire, we are removing oxygen again. Okay. So the Class K fire
Mm.
is nothing but, it is nothing but like it's like
Kitchen.
oil. It's like for
Mm-mm.
kitchen oil. Okay. It's maybe the
Mm-mm.
same principle of like removing oxygen.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Now,
Okay.
for example, if you talk about classification of fire extinguishers, I have another material. I have shared some of the material, right, in the document.
Yeah.
I believe I didn't share the class 4 model, but I will share it now. You can able to see the classification of potable extinguishers. Okay, here lot of informations here. The class A
Mm-mm.
extinguishers are used for fires involving ordinary combustibles such as wood, cloth, and paper. Okay, class B or extinguishers are used for fire involving liquid, greases, and gases. Okay, class C extinguishers are used on fire involving energized electrical equipment. Okay, and
Mm.
if say for example, if you are going to use extinguishers for the electrical room, you can use class C fire extinguisher, right? Say for example,
Okay. Yeah.
maybe whenever you see your drawing, IFC drawing, you have electrical room. In the electrical room, if the area is less than say for example 10 square meter or a very small area or small ordinary electrical rooms, you don't need to use the clean engine system. Okay, you can go with the
Mm-mm.
class C fire extinguisher basically.
Okay.
Okay, you can provide one small fire extinguisher which is class C fire extinguisher suitable for energized electrical equipment. Okay, in case if there is any fire in the electrical room, you can use class C fire to extinguish. Okay, then the class D extinguishers are used on fires involving metals such as magnesium, titanium, uh, sodium, potassium, or zirconium, like that. Okay, so this type of fire extinguisher will be used for the that lathe factory, right, where the mechanical
Mm-mm.
lathe.
Factories.
Okay, so this
Yeah.
type of things, they use that type of extinguishers. So here it is very clearly given the recommended marking system to indicate this is according to the class of fire. Okay, so this particular you can see that class A means you cannot use it for oil, you cannot use it for energized equipment, you can use it only for the fire which is comes from wood, cloth, and paper.
Yeah.
Okay. If you have a
Mm.
class A, class B extinguishers, yes, you can use it for both. And you have a class
Mm-mm.
BC, you can use it for this one. You have a class ABC. You might have seen that ABC fire extinguisher, right?
Yeah.
So that is
For a.
suitable for ABC. You might have seen that
Yes.
in the electrical room, they install ABC. Why they install ABC? Because sometimes they may use it for electrical room, or maybe they use it for some other purpose nearby. Okay, so
Mm-mm.
you might have seen that type of fire extinguishers. So here it is very clearly given extinguishers suitable for A. The same thing, ordinary, combustible, flammable liquids, electrical equipment. This is very, very basic information for you to understand. For you to understand the type of fire extinguisher you have to choose. Okay, assume that you have a one architectural drawing. Okay, you have architectural drawing like say for example you have a commercial building. Okay, or you say for example you have a industrial projects or different type of projects. Okay, say for example you have kitchen. Okay, the kitchen
Mm.
related to oil sometime, right?
Yeah.
So so
Mm.
that in that application you may use class B liquids. Okay, class B fire extinguisher. Okay,
Class
and
K, right?
class no class B is used for the oil greases, right? Say for example, yeah, okay,
Okay.
okay, okay, understand class K. Okay, so here it is
Mm-mm.
given here. uh, Yeah, if I go to UI fire code, yes, class K fire is cooking appliance. Yes, that involve
Mm-mm.
combustible cooking media. So class K fire you'll using it for kitchen.
Okay.
Okay, and say for example you have a flammable liquids like you have a generator room. Okay,
Mm-mm.
generator room or where you're storing or some oils, combustible liquids, petroleum gases. Then you will use class B fire.
Class B. Mm.
Okay, so that classification is given here. And also you can see that class A rating. Okay, you might have seen that 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A in the fire extinguisher choose when you select the
Mm-mm.
fire extinguisher.
Mm.
Okay, so this depends upon the say for example you have an area, the amount of area where it is. So that detail we can see. Class A means you have a range. An extinguisher classes A fire could have any of the following rating. You might have seen 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A in the fire extinguisher.
Okay. Mm-mm.
Okay, so this one you have it is there in the UE in the code as well. If I open NFPA 10, the same thing is given here as well. Okay, the same whatever we discussed just now depends upon the type of fire extinguisher or type of fire material, what type of you have to use it. If you go to NFPA 10, so I think again we have in NFPA 10 the same thing, classification of fires. Okay, you can
Mm.
see all the classification here, and here you can see that the light hazard 2A, ordinary hazard 2A, and extra hazard 4A. Okay, the minimum floor area per unit of A. Okay, so if you have a 2A, you can go or you can use up to 300 square feet. Every 300 square feet, you should have one extinguisher. Minimum floor area per extinguisher.
Okay. Mm-mm.
Okay, so the minimum travel distance to extinguisher, like for example, if you have 75 feet, you have a distance between minimum travel distance to extinguisher. So this 75 feet suitable for light hazard for one extinguisher. Okay, so if you go to UAE fire code, also they have given very clearly the usage of fire extinguishers. Okay, here you can see that class A is the same thing, whatever we have seen now, and the extinguisher classification here, and you can see that the labeling and extinguisher labeling, for example, 2A, 10BC conveys the following information. Okay, so the extinguisher is capable of extinguishing class A. So this is the class A. 2A is nothing but class A
Mm-mm.
with equivalency of 2.5 gallon of water. One is nothing but
Mm-mm.
1.25 gallon of water, and two is nothing but 2.5 gallon of water.
25 gallon of water.
3 means 3.25 gallon of water. This very clear explanation, even better than NFPA. This explanation.
Mm-mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, extinguisher is capable of extinguishing class B fire with a capacity of 10 square feet.
Square feet. Coverage. Okay.
Okay, of coverage. Number B implies the square foot coverage of extinguisher for class B. Okay, the extinguisher is also applicable to class C fire and is non-conductive. Usually there are no numbers against class C. Okay, so there is no number, it's just 2A. 2A is nothing but how much amount of this one, and 10,
Water. Okay.
yeah, and 10 is nothing but how much square feet, and the class B is
Material.
suitable for class C and also for C. Okay,
Mm-mm.
so this is about the planning and this is about safety installations. You can read. Okay, and operation and use, how to use that fire extinguisher, and then you have a type of fire extinguishers. Okay, so this is the you have water type. So this water type, you can see the how much of gallon. Okay, so this suitable for class A fires.
Mm-mm.
So the fire extinguisher contains water. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so here you can see that red color code. You can see this type of fire extinguisher. So whenever you go and see the fire extinguisher, you have a different color, right? Sometimes you see black color, sometimes you see yellow, sometimes you see blue. Okay, so
The
that
dry
indicates
powder.
this one. So when you see the red color here in the name, that is water. It's about it's indicate about water type fire extinguisher. So the water type fire extinguisher, where it's suitable, it is suitable for class A.
Mm.
Okay, and not suitable for it is given here. Okay, like it's
Okay.
not suitable for flammable liquid cooling. So this is very important for choosing the fire. Say for example, you cannot. What are the type we have? We have a sprinkler system, then we have a gas system, and then we have fire extinguisher. Okay, where you cannot use, where no need of use water system, or where you no need of use clean agent system, you can use that fire extinguisher for smaller applications. Okay,
Mm-mm.
where the sprinkler is not available, where the clean agent is not necessary. So that area you can use it. Similarly for foam type. So there is a type of another type of fire extinguisher which is foam type. Also there is like a, you have the clean for foam which is used for generator, right? For generator application you have a
Okay.
foam
Yeah. Okay.
sprinkler system. Okay, so the foam
Mm-mm.
sprinkler system, what this type of foams are available like AFF, aqueous film foaming foam, or fill foaming fluoroprotein type fire extinguisher
Yeah.
are used
This
for
one, I think last time we discussed already. This AXL.
which one?
Yeah, this about the film forming we discussed already last.
You mean the fire extinguisher type?
Yeah. This I think we discussed about, and you told me to check this AF this
Ah,
thing. Yeah.
okay.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so here also this particular foam type is suitable for class A and also class B. Okay, this type of gas, this type of
Mm-mm.
foam fire extinguisher suitable for class A and class B as well. So here application is
Yeah.
given, and also not suitable for class C fires, electrical equipment, office equipment, computers, or below 4 degree Celsius is not suitable. Okay,
Mm-mm. Okay.
then you have the CO2 type fire extinguishers, carbon dioxide fire extinguishers. Okay, so here you can see that the principal advantage of CO2 fire extinguisher is that again agent does not leave a residue after use. This can be a significant factor where protection is needed for delicate and costly electronic equipments. Okay, carbon dioxide
Mm.
are listed for an use of class B and class C fires. So this also application is given here, and the which is suitable for class C fire and class B fire, not suitable for also it is given here.
Okay. Mm-mm.
Okay, and
Yes.
this is a dry powder for multi-purpose. Okay, you can use it for class A fire, class B fire, class C fire, and class D fire. So most of the project, when you see even any of the consultant when they design, they use dry powder fire extinguishers because this is suitable
Mm.
for all the applications. You might have seen blue color coding powder.
Yeah.
Okay, so the more because this is cheaper and you no need to buy different type of fire extinguisher. You can use the same type of fire extinguisher for all
Full
applications.
type all applications. Okay.
Okay, so when you try to see the fire extinguisher, this contain an ammonium phosphate agent. Okay, and
Mm-mm.
hand fire extinguisher available with fire extinguishing ranging of 1A to 20A. Okay, and
Mm.
10B-C. So this explanation is given before, right? What do you mean by
Mm-mm.
1A? So that amount of
Gallon.
yeah, the gallon. Okay, so multi-purpose agents are used for same manner, ordinary type. And when applying the agent, it is important to try to coat all burning areas in order to how to use it. Okay, this application
Mm.
and not suitable for which application. Okay, and the another type is a dry chemical type. Also, it is given here. Okay, then you have applications, which application you can use it. Then you have a wet chemical type. Then you can use hollow carbon clean agent type. Okay, if you talk about server rooms, they use this type of fire
Mm-mm.
extinguisher, hollow
Yeah.
carbon clean agent fire extinguishers. Okay, and you have a wheel type fire extinguisher, right? This type of fire
Yeah.
extinguisher is there. Okay. Now, if you go further table, here it is given application of fire extinguisher, very clearly given. Okay, this is the class A fire extinguisher where you have to use. Okay, assembly, business, education, what type of areas, seating area, corridor, waiting area. Okay, type of extinguishers, whether it is a multi-purpose dry powder, which is 2A to 20B, C 4 kg, or you can use CO2 type fire extinguishers. Okay, 5 kg.
Is it okay?
For this application, it is considered as a class A fire, and the type of fire extinguisher you can use either multi-purpose dry powder or CO2 type fire. You can use any one.
Okay. Mm-mm.
Okay, but if you see multi-purpose dry powder, you can use it for class A, class B, class C. Okay, but if you use
Mm-mm.
CO2 fire, it's only for B and C.
Can see.
Okay, so you might have seen some consultant using multiple purpose. Okay, each extinguisher of size mentioned say area about 280 square meter. So one fire extinguisher it can cover 280 square meter.
Mm-mm.
Okay, the maximum travel distance to such an extinguisher shall not be more than 30 meter. So if you design one fire extinguisher here, so the another fire extinguisher can be 60 meter,
30
right?
meter, 30 meter
So
away, right? Oh, okay.
30 meter. So
Oh,
this fire extinguisher can go 30 meter here. This fire
oh,
extinguisher
this
can
one,
go 30
30
meter
meter.
here. Okay,
Okay,
so
60 meter.
this, yeah, this 60 meter it can cover. So that is why you will see 280 square meter coverage. Like if you make a circle, you will have a 280 square meter coverage. Okay, because
Mm-mm.
this can go this side, this can go this side, and this can go this side, this can go this side.
Okay.
Okay, similarly for class A fire again, you can see all the types, area, and what is the type of fire extinguishers here. Okay, this is class 1 assembly, business, educational, healthcare, residential, hotel, resort, daycare. And if you come to class detention and correction area, this mercantile. Okay, then you have a malls, storage, animal housing, fuel dispensing. So you can use any one type, either multi-purpose or clean agent type or CO2 type.
Okay.
Okay, so here it's again given the area of square meter coverage, 280 square meter, and it can go 30-meter distance, right?
Yeah. Mm.
Similarly, for class B fire, you can see the different assembly, different area, assembly, education, healthcare, hotel. Hotel means you have a chemical stores, okay,
Mm-mm.
wastage stores, waste storage.
Okay.
Okay, you have a chemical stores. So you can see that even if you see the educational where they are using it, maybe you have a class A, also maybe you have education. But what is the area? Corridor, reception, auditorium, assembly halls, locker room for class A. But if the same education, and you can see here education, but what type of extinguisher? It's a class B fire. So they are using it foam type and multi-purpose dry powder. For which area? Laboratories and cleaning solvent storage.
Training friends.
Okay, and the same class B fire for fuel dispensing station. You might have seen the petrol station, the wheel type foam
Mm-mm.
50-liter fire extinguisher.
Wheel type. Yeah.
Okay, wheel type foam. So before, remember, we have seen the different type of fire extinguishers. So where they are
Mm-mm.
using now, that a particular area. So it is very clearly given. Class C
Mm-mm.
fire again, you can see that all electrical related rooms, switch gear, RME room, cable room. You might have gone to electrical rooms, substations, or some LV room.
Yeah, substation.
So
Mm.
you might have
Substation,
seen
we
this
are
type of,
using this wheel type of
yeah,
foam,
yeah,
30
wheel
kg
type.
CO2.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so here you can see that HV room, transformer room, you can see that wheel type 12 kg.
Okay.
Okay, and also you can see the distance. The maximum travel distance to such an area shall not be more than 9 meter. If the LV room is more than 9 meter, you can use it to extinguisher, two wheel type CO2 extinguisher. Okay, it's a trolley
So
mounted extinguisher.
maximum travel distance
It's
thing
9 meter,
9 meter.
9 meter.
Okay. What about the
Okay,
area? Area they are mentioning something.
area they didn't mention, but they mentioned the distance.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so let's say for example you have a HV room, HV room here. Sometime you have two doors. Okay, very large LV room, maybe which is more than 9 meter. Then you can use one extinguisher here and one
Mm-mm.
extinguisher here.
Mm.
Okay,
Okay.
And it is not allowed to use it is not allowed to use keep extinguisher somewhere behind the area. Okay, if somebody should be near to the entrance. Okay,
Near
if
to the
somebody,
entrance left side.
yeah, if somebody comes, they will the fire extinguisher should be very easy to access.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and also you can see that class K fire. Okay, the area, the type of fire extinguishers, the distribution. Extinguishers shall be placed inside kitchen next to kitchen exit door. Okay, the locations also given here. Class K fire, commercial kitchens, restaurant, food court. Then you have a class D fires. Clear, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and also there is a fact sheet available. As you can see that as per NFPA, you will get some information about where and how extinguishers be located. You will get some information here. Okay, there is another document about portable fire extinguishers. You can see introduction. Okay, combustion, like you have a fire triangle, oxygen, heat, fuel, chemical reactions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can see that the parts of the fire extinguishers, the function of each parts of fire extinguisher, cylindrical tank, valves, carry, handle. Okay, you have a class A, B, C, D. How to choose right class? Okay, choosing a fire
Mm-hmm.
extinguisher type of relevant class of fire could literally be the difference between life and death. Okay, so the class A for this type of materials, class B, class C. Okay, the five main extinguisher types with color codes. Okay, you might have seen water, foam, dry powder, carbon dioxide, wet chemical. Okay,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
each of the different type of fire extinguishers is suitable for different fire classes. It is important that you purchase the right fire extinguisher for your need. So you have a different type of class of fire, and the description is given here. What the same thing they repeat again. Okay, and you can see that water where you can use only for class A fire. Okay,
Okay.
foam
Yeah.
you can use it for AB. What you have inside the foam? It's like AF of foam fire extinguishers. It's a foam chemical.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then you have a carbon dioxide. What where you can use it? And
B and
ABC
C.
powder, where you can use it. Wet chemicals, deionized water mist.
Carbon dioxide we can use in class B and C, right?
Yeah, carbon dioxide you can use it for class
But
B and
for
E
the
only.
C, they put what E? There is no E, right? A, B, C, D,
Ah,
then
okay,
A,
okay,
right?
okay. Sometimes they say that EC is a energized electrical room. So what they mentioned here, yeah, there is sometimes they say some different names. See here, class electrical fire. Okay, so this is the electrical fire basically. Okay, if you have any confusion on the numbers, you can refer what is the application. See, for example, here they are talking about class C for flammable gas like methane and hydrogen.
But
Okay,
as per the
yeah, yeah.
NFPA
As per
specification,
NFPA, yes, yes. As per NFPA, this is the one. As per NFPA, you have this is
mm-hmm.
energized. NFPA, they say involve energized electrical equipment. Yes, that is correct. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and also you can see the fire extinguisher type of fire extinguisher. The same thing. There are a lot of materials.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You will find about dry powder fire extinguishers. Okay, what are the types available? This is like a material data sheets.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are different type of. These are material data sheets here from NAFCO. Yeah, this is about safety. So fire safety. What is a fire and the fuel combustion? Different type of combustions. Oxygen. You talk about all combustion substances need oxygen to burn. Oxygen is normally available in the air in sufficient quantities, 21 percentage. there must be at least a 16 percentage oxygen present for a fire to burn. So if it goes less than 16, your fire
Fire will extinguish.
cannot continue. Yeah, the heat source of ignition. What is the source of ignition? Okay, you have electricity, smoking, cutting, and welding. So this is about fuel. So this is the fuel. What is the type of fuels here? And then you have oxygen. This is oxygen and heat. So heat is the source of ignition. Electricity, smoking, cutting, and welding, open flames, hot surfaces, spontaneous ignition, static sparks, friction. Then you have a chemical reaction. It's continuously it react and it will fire continuously, right? So that is a chain reaction. And you have a class A fire again, class B, class C fire, okay, class D fire. Type of fire extinguishers: water fire extinguisher, foam fire extinguisher, dry powder fire extinguisher, carbon dioxide fire extinguisher, halon fire extinguisher, liquid fire extinguisher, or liquid powder fire extinguisher. Okay, so here you can see that the different type of fire extinguisher available in different sizes: 3 kg, 6 kg, 12 kg. Okay, here also you can see that
Mhm.
carbon dioxide fire extinguisher available in different sizes, kgs. Okay, so here are some instructions given here. Don't keep anything on the extinguishing material or on keep heaters away from curtain furniture. Yeah, you have a type of fire extinguishers again. There is a different types. The same thing, water fire extinguisher. You can see that inside what you have inside cools the fire to below ignition temperature, right?
Yeah.
Okay, pressure is stored in a gas cartridge inside the cylinder, made up of solid brown steel and internally zinc coated. Force will last for 2 minutes and can reach up to 40 feet distance. Dry chemical powder, what is inside? Contains sodium bicarbonate powder.
Mhm.
Okay, used on all classes of fires, dry chemical powders. And what is the force will last? So it will work for 2 minutes, right? And it can go up to 10 to 15 minutes. When you stop, it can work for 2 minutes. Okay, then you have a foam fire extinguishers. So what is inside? You have a CO2 gas, expelled type of water. Instead of water, it contains foam compound mixture in water in the ratio of mentioned by the supplier. Normally, remember we have seen for foam system we have uh, the gas is 97 percentage composition and 3 percentage is water. Okay,
Mhm.
used on class A and class B fires. It will suitable for 2.5 minutes and 20 feet distance. Okay, similarly for the CO2 fires. So wet chemical fire extinguishers, water mist fire extinguishers, class D fire extinguisher. Class D is nothing but lithium, aluminum, magnesium. Class D fire extinguisher, how it reacts. Okay, like you have a sodium chloride, copper based, graphite based, contains sodium chloride salt and thermoplastic additive, sodium chloride, plastic metal to form an oxygen, exploding crust over the metal and the salt dissipation heat. Useful on most alkali metals such as magnesium, aluminum, titanium. So is a extinguisher agent, right?
Mhm.
Then you have a lithium ion fire extinguisher. This is suitable for battery rooms. Remember, there are some battery room. There is a lithium ion batteries,
Yes.
so there you can use it. Okay, if you go to NFPA 10, Okay, you will find each and every item. Like if you go inside, this is fire extinguisher size and placement for class A hazard. So what is the distance? Okay, it is clearly given here also. If you have a class B fire, basic minimum extinguishing rating. If it is a light fire, you have a 5B and 10B.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and if it is ordinary hazard, you need 10B and 20B. And the minimum travel distance also given here: 30 feet, 50 feet, 30 feet, 50 feet. Okay, for class B fires, and this for
Okay.
class A fires. This is a maintenance interval. Okay, your inspection should be done every 1 year. Uh, in a year, one interval examination, or 3 times, or 5 times, or 6 times. The same thing. Example of extinguisher protecting class A hazard. Water type, halogenated agent type, multipurpose dry chemical type, wet chemical type. For class B, AFF foam,
Mm-hmm.
AFF fill forming fluoroprotein foam. So these are about class A, whatever we have seen just now. So trolley type, what is inside the material, that we have seen other uh, material also. See that extinguishing placement. If you keep one extinguisher here, it can cover 29.9 meter. When you say 29.9 meter, it can cover the circle, right? It can go in any direction. So this is the
Mm-hmm.
placement. Extinguisher placed 32 meter apart to comply with the 75 feet travel distance, and 11,250 square feet is 1045 square meter minimum floor area per extinguisher. Okay, there is a calculation also given here. How many fire extinguisher you have to use? So if you are using 4A extinguisher for light hazard, for example, 11,000, uh, you have an area of 67,500 square feet. Okay, if you are divided by 11,250 square feet travel distance, and 11,250 square feet maximum floor area per extinguisher, right? So if you have an area of 67,500 divided by 11,250, you have to use 6 extinguisher. Okay. For if it is
Mm-hmm.
a light hazard, you have to use 4A type. If it is a light hazard.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay. If it is an ordinary hazard, then you have to use
And
10A type.
then
Okay. So you have to use 10A type, which 10A type can cover 11,250 square feet. Okay. If it is an extra hazard, you need a 20A. For extra hazard, you need a 20A, right?
okay.
Because up to 10A only 10,000. So if you have 11,250 square feet, then you have to use 10A, 20A, 6 number fire extinguisher for this particular. So this calculation also given here, the placement calculation. Okay, there is another example. Yeah. If you are using 2A, so the 2A coverage is up to 6,000 square feet, right?
Yeah. Mm.
Okay, so if you have light assault, then you can use 67,500 divided by 6,000. You require 12 numbers. If you are using
Mm-hmm.
4A, 6 numbers. Okay, and if you are using 2A, you have to use 12 numbers, because this will cover 6,000 square feet, but 4A we can cover 11,250 square feet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's a number of extinguisher selections. Okay, This is only for class A fire extinguishers. This calculation.
Mm, mm, mm,
When you're working for class A fire extinguisher, for this is the uh, procedure. Okay. Similarly, you have for class B as well. See, the quantity of extinguisher for class A hazards depends upon the area, depends upon the hazard. If you have a light hazard, if you are using 2A, it can cover up to 6,000 square feet. Okay. If you have an area of 10,000 square feet, then you have to use two number fire extinguisher. Clear?
clear.
Okay. If you have an extra hazard, and but you have a 10,000 square feet, so you cannot use 2A or 3A. You cannot use that one. Starting from 4A only.
Mm, mm,
Okay. And if you have an ordinary assault, yes, you can use 2A, but it can cover only 3,000 square feet. So instead of 2, you have to use 4 if you have ordinary assault. So this is the calculation. Okay. And also you can see that single story building, 90,000 coverage area, how many extinguishers are required. If it is a 2A, 50 numbers, 3A, 10 numbers, 4A, 8 numbers. Okay. And you can see the coverage area. When somebody say 22.9 mm, like 75 feet, so this is a coverage area.
mm, mm,
Okay. And similarly, you have some sample calculation is given here. Extinguisher selection and placement for class A fire assaults. Okay. Similarly, for class B fire extinguishers, class C fire extinguishers, then class K fire extinguisher. Okay. You can see that fire extinguisher types, different type of fire extinguishers. Okay.
mm.
You can take snapshot and you can post it in the group, so people will know how many type of fire extinguishers. Okay, this is of characteristics of extinguishers. What a type, method of storage, operation. Okay, you have a stored pressure and you have a capacity of 6 liter. Horizontal range of steam, it can go 30 to 40 feet. Approximate time of discharge 40 seconds. Protection required below 4 degrees Celsius. Yes. Okay, and the classification 1A, 2A, 3A. Okay, like that you can study more about fire
Mm,
extinguishers.
mm.
So now you have some idea about fire
Yeah,
extinguishers
yeah.
types. Can you try to do some assignment about say right what is fire, the fire, what is a triangle, fire triangle, and you can
Yeah,
say
this
about,
one last time
yeah,
I sent to you.
yes, and you can talk about type of fire extinguishers. Okay, and
Okay,
which
then.
application, what type of you can use, and what is the different type of colors indicates what. Okay, and
Okay.
remember that we have seen 2A, 10, B, C. So what is that 2A, B, C? What is the definition?
Mm,
You can also
mm,
try to understand. Okay, so try to practice and also go through NFPA 10. You will get some idea.
okay.
Okay, clear?
Clear, clear.